I know we're probably going to be saying this a lot this year, but Saturday's a big game. Just what's it like in this league where every time you look up, you're playing a game that's going to mean something big?
It's exciting, I don't think this year there's any cupcake games in this league. Any team can beat any team on any given night. So we know we have to bring it on Saturday, and we know that Utah State's going to bring it. So it's going to be a good game for us.
What do you think a game against the number one offense versus the number one defense in the Mountain West is going to look like?
It's going to be a challenge for us, especially how well they shoot the three, and we've had some games where we've given up a lot of threes, but I think we improved against San Jose State. So we're just going to continue to build off of our defense against San Jose State and hopefully continue that into Saturday.
What are those huddles like at the last seconds of games? You guys did it so often last year and this year. Can you kind of take us through what that looks like?
It's just, we got to figure out how many timeouts we have is a big thing. And then we just got to figure out what we're going to do offensively or defensively. And, there's a lot of times where it's pretty loud, so we have to really keep those huddles tight to, make sure we hear everything and just make sure that there's no game slippage, especially that late in the game.
Is there a different feel? Like last year, there were some games where you, like San Diego State in the championship game, or Nevada, when you've got to be the one to hold them off, and then other games where you got to make the shot. Is there a different feel in the huddle getting set up, whether you're going to be on O or D?
I think there's a little bit of a different feel. A lot of time it felt like last year we had to get one stop, and we've only been in that situation once this year where Shaves hit the shot, but it's definitely a different feel because we have confidence in both our offense and defense to get a bucket or get a stop. So there's a little different feel, but we're confident either way.
We've asked you a couple of times now, but how frustrating is your outside shooting right now? You obviously know you're a better shooter than what you're showing. Is that getting to you at all? Or?
No, just coaches in my ear, just making sure to stay confident, and the shots are going to fall. I just haven't found the rhythm that I found last year, but they're coming. I know it.
Is it anything? I mean, I'm sure you would have already fixed it if it was anything technical. Is it just, are you noticing anything as to why, or are they just not going in?
They're just not going in, and just even with the misses, you just got to stay confident. You're going to make the next one, and it's just got to have a short memory and just take it one shot at a time.
What's the relationship like with you and Naj on the court? When sometimes you guys are going up against dudes who are 4 or 5 inches taller than you?
We were a great duo. It's fun to play against a guy who I played against in high school, and we just have a great chemistry, and we want to continue to play our best basketball towards the end of the year.
You're playing a lot of 5 this year. What's different when you're a 5 on the defensive end, and what's different at the offensive end?
Comparing the 5 to the 4, you're guarding a lot bigger guys compared to the 4, and you're guarding in the post a lot more, and then on offense you're setting a lot more screens, and you're more involved in the pick and roll. So it's a little different, but I'll do whatever the team needs me to do to win games.
When you're undersized, like as Jordan said, what's the biggest thing that you need to do for somebody that gives up either inches or pounds?
You got to do your work early, and whether that's fronting the post, forcing their catch out a little bit farther, and then just exaggerating technique, because a lot of the time you can get called for cheap fouls in the post, and so you got to exaggerate the technique and make sure you do everything in your power to stay in the game.
How would you say overall you think you've played personally this year?
Played good. I've definitely taken on some of that leadership role, and so I think that's a big part of my job this year, and I think I've done a good job of that. But hoping the outside shots start to fall, but I don't want to be reliant on my outside shot to affect how I play.
How much do you like it when the offense kind of works through you in the post? We see what you can do with your post moves, but I remember one time where they kind of doubled you, and then you guys swung it and ended up getting a wide open 3 for Buzo. I mean, do you feel comfortable, I guess, and do you like kind of having the offense run through you down there? Or?
I like playing out of the post. That's what a lot of played in high school, so I have a lot of experience there. But I'm good with however the offense is ran. I'm sure I'll get my touches when I need them, but if everyone's scoring, that's the best success for us.
Utah State has one of the best three-point shooters by percentage in the country right now. How do you avoid overguarding him?
We just got to do our work early and make sure that we're not in the wrong spot at the wrong time. And we can't necessarily gamble on defense. We got to make sure we stay solid and stay within our defense.
They lost Bean. Like, what do you see from them this year that's a little bit different than what they had last season?
They got a good player in Taylor Funk. He kind of fills in that Justin Bean role, and they returned a lot from last year. So they got a really good team, and we're excited for the challenge.
Is there a story that just always sticks out to you about the confidence of Marcus Shaver?
I mean, he's done it so many times. It's just you expect him to make it every time,
Yeah.
and he's just so calm. You never see him really rattled at all. He just always is so poised in those moments, and he just has the utmost confidence in himself. And I think the one that I always go back to is the Utah State game last year in Logan, where he's 0 for 10, nothing's fallen, and then we give him the ball in the last seconds, and he makes the shot. And I think that just shows the confidence he has in himself and the confidence that we have in him to make those shots.
You talked about being a leader. How do you lead? What's your style? What's important to you when you talk to yourself about being a leader and how you do it?
Keeping the team together. There's in the Charlotte game, we kind of looked back at the film and we were kind of all like spread out in a sense. Like there was no like huddle, there's no connectiveness. So just making sure that we have really good huddles, make sure we all know that we're on the same page, and keeping everyone's spirits up even when shots aren't falling.
What about away from basketball, away from the game, away from practices, just being that guy?
Just being there for everyone wherever anyone needs, whether it's, going to lunch with someone, I don't know, just being there for everyone, just being a shoulder that they can lean on.
Do you like being a leader?
I do.
Do you think being a leader and playing the post and a lot of different other things, do you think that maybe affects your shooting because you're trying to do a lot of different things, and at the end of the day you might become this more complete basketball player?
Could be. I don't have a surefire answer for that, but it definitely could be, but I don't know.
Leon's mentioned a couple times this year that like this team at times like has a low margin for error, that you guys just kind of have to do everything to the best of your ability, do your roles and stuff. Do you feel like people have kind of bought into just like doing their roles and not trying to get outside of themselves or press? I
think so. At the start of the year, it's definitely hard because our roles are so undefined, and I think as the season has gone on, I think people are starting to figure out their roles, and if everyone does their part in their role, we're going to win a lot of games.
Last year you had a great freshman year, and I'm sure as the year went on, people got to know you. Did they defend you or play you differently, and then are they playing you differently this year? Because you're now somebody that, when you look at our roster, you're a name that pops to the top.
I think they're playing me a little differently, and that's credit to my teammates last year and allowing me to kind of fill in a role. I think Abu, Eman, Milan, and Shaver took a lot of that responsibility of the scouting report, and I kind of settled in at the bottom. But I think this year I'm more towards the top and have more of a big name and guy to stop. So it's a little different, but I'm always up for it.
Is there a difference in the feel of a game, like these league opponents you're going to be seeing for a third or fourth, maybe even a fifth time, versus a non-conference game where maybe it's one and done and a tournament you never see them again? Is there a different feel to playing teams multiple times?
I think there's more of a confidence this year, because last year you're just going into something that I had no experience of, and now that I've played every team and kind of gotten a feel of every team, it's nice to know like what kind of stuff they run and just have a confidence of like what they're going to do. Helps me out on the court, kind of call out plays when I see them and stuff like that.